low key. Where did all his money go? So something's not right in this story. So we got to dig in. We got to dig in because once Melissa came out and said, we paid for this house, now everyone has to do some detective work. Okay. All our listeners are great. Let's do some detective work and find out, really, is that the case? And if it's the case, do you not pay the mortgage? Do you mortgage it to the point where you don't pay it so that the sheriff's department escorts your mother and father out the door? Either way, it's not very nice.
I
Not
mean,
very
right,
nice.
like for all these things you guys uncover, this one's actually easier than most. Like someone's
That's
got to
right.
find this. Like,
That's right.
there's records. Could
Yes.
someone just go and look into really whether they paid for this house or not?
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Man,
you know what? The deck of cards is falling for them. I mean, the rumors that are the rumor mill from all these past years, the people are hitting them left and right with arrows. Okay. And not for nothing, this is what happens on these shows. They're up and then they're down. That's just the way it rolls. Now, also going back to the rumor about her and Nick, this is all going to come out. Everything's going to come out. It's just going to happen because when Margaret realizes that Melissa's done, okay, that Melissa's done, she's not going to care. She's not going to care. She's going to let this text go out the door. They're not going to care. Once they know for sure that these people don't mean anything, they're going to turn on them like they're yesterday's news. Yesterday's news. It's a done deal.
can you imagine living your life and spending so much time with so many people that are just don't care? They just don't
Yep.
care about you. They
Yep.
literally, and like I guess if you know that, I don't know, is that better or worse? I don't
I
know.
think it's worse. I think it's worse. Now, let me go back to my day on the show. Okay. We cared about each other. Like Jacqueline and I are still very dear friends. Okay. Dolores and I still speak all the time. As a matter of fact, I spoke with her yesterday. Um,
Really?
yeah, yeah. So I made her prediction. I said I think she's going to get engaged in the next couple of weeks. That's my prediction, guys. It doesn't mean I know anything. There's no inside scoop, but I just have this gut feeling, and normally I'm right. Let's see. Let's hope for
What
the
did
best
she
for
say
Dolores.
about that when you told her
Well,
this?
I asked her. I said, Dolores, I never put you on the spot, and I don't repeat what you say. But do you really think Teresa is done with Melissa? And Joe, she goes, I'm not going to answer that right now. I got to see more of the facts. She goes, before I could answer. She's not going there. She's not going there.
Dolores
She's not
knows.
going
Like,
there. Dee's not going there. She's not going there. I go, I won't say anything if you touch. She goes, I don't know yet. Okay, okay, whatever. But anyway, we love her. So let's go back to the days. Dolores was not on the show. Like she was, filming with Carolyn. She wasn't a housewife yet. Um, Jacqueline, myself, and Teresa would be on the phone till 2:30 in the morning. And Carlos reiterated that. He didn't mention my name, but he said her and Jacqueline were on every night talking about the next days. We had each other's back. I would say to Teresa, if I do this or if you do that, and if they say that the producers say we should do things against each other, we won't. We'll figure out a way around it. We cared about each other. And then it got really cutthroat, and then what happened between Jacqueline and Teresa is this. So this way everybody knows. And this is not coming from Jacqueline's mouth. This is something that I know. Okay. The producers went to Jacqueline. This is when, remember when all the papers were saying that Teresa is under fire, she's going to go to the jail, and all these things were happening. All the rag mags were coming out. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. I guess this is still lingering 3 weeks in. So anyway, the producers go to Jacqueline and go, you know what? You need to bring up on camera, why isn't Teresa telling you the truth about what's going on with her house, what's going on with Joe, and what's going on with possible jail time, okay, that she's going to be indicted. Jacqueline said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, you know what? You're under contract. And this is what's going on in the world. This is not something you're making up. This is something that's out there. You need to bring it up. Well, the scene when they're in Jacqueline's backyard, and then Jacqueline brings it up to Teresa, and Teresa's in shock. Caroline comes around the corner, and Teresa's like, is this a setup? I can't believe you did this to me. I'm just in shock. I'm in shock. And Jacqueline's going, because you're lying to me. You know something's up. That night is when Teresa and Jacqueline were done. Okay. It gets better. Her and Dina, Teresa and Dina, hadn't spoken for about 2 years. That night, Teresa was so shooken up. She went to Dina's house because remember, they all lived in Franklin Lakes, not Teresa, but Dina, Jacqueline, and Caroline. So it was right around the corner from Jacqueline's house, and went knocking on Dina's door crying. Dina let her in, and that's when they made up.
Teresa and Dina.
Yep. So you see how ugly it gets? It gets ugly. Even things that you don't want to do. The producers are like, listen, we're fucking paying you 500,000, $1 million, 900. You're going to do your job. We're not telling you to lie, which sometimes they do. I never lied. And that was not a lie. They didn't tell Jacqueline a lie. Basically telling Jacqueline, you're on this show. You signed a contract. This show's about drama. You got to bring it. You got to bring it. You got to say, look, this is what's in the papers. Is there any truth to this? And that's what happened.
And it's like, they don't tell you to lie, but they'll say, I mean, you have to be a moron not to understand. Like, they'll say to you, like, aren't you mad at Jacqueline? And you'll think like, no. And they'll be like, you're not. Like, you should be. If I were
Correct.
you, I would be mad if someone did that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're sitting there and you're saying, well, I'm making $700,000, and they'll say, are you sure you're not mad? And by the third question, the light bulb goes off. Oh, yeah, I'm mad. So then, and people don't. I mean, do people realize, like, when these confessionals are filmed, they'll say to you, we need you to now react to this and be upset. So we're going to ask you, are you mad at Jacqueline? Oh my God, that fucking bitch. Like, it's, they get their sound bites. It's spoon fed. I mean, they literally make you look, anyone could be chosen. And when you're chosen, they'll make you a star. They'll make you.
Correct.
Yes, there's some things you do and table flipping and all of that. But like, once you're in, they will give you enough. You just got to go with it. You got to go with it.
Listen, everything Teresa said in the beginning in her confessionals, they fed to her. Because, listen, Teresa's not very bright. We know that. Okay. I'm not bashing her. She's just not witty. That's not putting her down. She's not witty, but Carlos King and people like that are very witty, and they're going to tell her what to say. They're going to tell her what to say. Now, for instance, let's say Teresa's telling the truth. Let's say she's telling the truth. And let's say she wasn't watching the show or all that. Where was she getting all these clips and all these things? She was being fed what to say. Let's face it, in her confessionals. So, and it's fine. It's fine. She did her job. They tell you what to do. But the best is when it's real. When it's real. And back then it was real. And that's what happened between Jacqueline and Teresa. So I promised everyone that I would watch the show, which I'm going to start watching the episodes. But I want to go over some of the things that happened before I was filming with Danielle. Okay. I do have a lot. Yeah, I do too. I think Danielle's great TV. So let me give you a behind the scenes of Danielle and I were friends. I was not on the show yet. I had made friends with Danielle. The first season was filmed. And Danielle and I were friends. That's